Now I'm going to do the piano intro to Journey's Don't Stop Believin'. Journey's classic song Don't Stop Believin' was recently featured in the finale of The Sopranos, and so a lot of people have been reintroduced to this classic song. And it of course has the legendary piano intro, which can be a reasonable facsimile of which can be played on solo guitar. And so I'm going to do that for you now, and then I'll tell you how I did it. So there are really two different aspects to playing this intro, and the first one we'll start with is your right hand. There's your right hand and there's your left hand. Your right hand, the thumb, is going to be responsible for playing the entire bass line. So every bass note on any string will be played with your thumb, and the higher notes that alternate back and forth on top of the bass line will be played. I use my middle finger and my index finger. You can designate two other fingers if you prefer, if that's more comfortable for you. But I choose my middle finger and my index finger, and they alternate. Whichever the notes are, they still alternate high, low, high, low, high, low, back and forth. So for example, the first alternating high notes will be the open E string and the open B string. High, low, high, low. Okay, so let's just start with the higher notes, and we'll get to the bass line afterwards. For the higher notes, they are as follows. At first, it's just open E and B. Then you're going to follow that with changing the high E string to the second fret on the E string with your middle finger. So now you have F sharp and open B. Then you go back to open E and open B. And then for the final chord of this section, you're now going to use the B string and the G string. On the B string, second fret C sharp with your pinky, and on the G string, second fret A with your ring finger. So for that first half, we have open E and B, then F sharp and B, then open E and B, and then C sharp and A. Okay, then the second half, we have E and B, then F sharp and B. Then we're going to move to D sharp, which is the B string, 4th fret, and we're going to use our index finger and bar both of these notes, and you'll see why when we get to the bass line later. D sharp on the B string, 4th fret, and B on the G string, 4th fret, both with your index finger. And then back to C sharp and A. So in other words, the only thing that changes from the first half to the second half is the D sharp and the B. So altogether we have this. Okay, so you'll see why I used those fingerings once we get to the bass line, which is as follows. The actual notes of the bass line are going to be this, and they're all played with your thumb. Open E, low E, which is E, F sharp, G sharp, B, which is low E string, 2, 4, 2 on the A string. Now I use index, pinky, index, simply for ease of not having to stretch. You can use your ring finger instead of your pinky if you like, especially if you have smaller hands. You'll want to use your pinky like I do. Now, I can reach this easily, but it's all about whatever is most efficient. Okay, now we have C sharp, D sharp, back to C sharp, which we're going to play as follows. C sharp, 4th fret on the A string with your pinky, D sharp, 1st fret on the D string with your index finger, back to the C sharp with your pinky. So far we have okay, then we go to D sharp, 1st fret on the D string with your index finger, E, 2nd fret on the D string with your middle finger, open A string, okay, then repeat the D sharp and E, then back to the low E string, open. So, total we have alright, and the second half, we start the same way, E, F sharp, G sharp, B, then C sharp, D sharp, but instead of going back to C sharp, we're going to go C sharp, D sharp, and then with your thumb, you're going to play G sharp on the low E string. So we have, now that's where it starts to get a little trickier. Okay.